Welcome to the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. We are here to inspire and empower you and ignite the fire of success within you so that you can ignite and take flight in every area of your life. Hey there, and welcome back to the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. I am super excited and happy to be back with another phenomenal show for the day. And yes, I am doing double duty. So if you haven't joined, shared, liked, go ahead and send this information out to your friends. Make sure you send it to your friends, your family, and don't forget about your frenemies. So as you know, on the show today, I had Rizvan Rashid on the show with me today, and we were talking about our upcoming summit that we're having with the Magnetic Entrepreneur Business Success Summit. And I know many of you caught this that's coming up on the 7th of June and the 6th of June, pardon me, right here on Facebook Live via Zoom. So it's going to be a 2-day summit. It's going to be just a brand marketing summit to help upbrand you and to help empower you in your business and every facet of life. Of course, it's going to start at 9:45 a.m. to 5:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with some of the most remarkable speakers on the planet, like Jack Canfield, Kyle Wilson, Satish Verma, Timber, and a whole host of other folks, as well as Serena Brown Travis, Les Brown's daughter, and of course me, Lotus Richey from Lotus Richey Ignites. So make sure you join the Up Brand Summit, better known as the Magnetic Entrepreneur COVID-19 Business Success Summit. Well, since I've said that and I've shared that with you, I'm also going to leave you some links down below after this broadcast so that you can get the information about this summit. Of course, we're going to be giving this summit to you in multiple languages. You're going to be amazed. So I'll share more with you on that later. But let's get right down into it because I've got a magnificent lady coming on my show here for you. So if you haven't shared, liked, and started a watch party, go ahead and do it because she's got some phenomenal nuggets that she's going to share with you today. And I see folks already streaming in, so come on in and get in where you fit in because I've always got room right here around my table for you. So come on in and join the broadcast. When you come in, please let us know where you're joining in from. I see the remarkable Dr. PPP all the way from Canada. That's right. The celebrity guru, Dr. PPP, all the way from Canada. Great to see you, Doc. Thank you for joining the broadcast. And I see the remarkable Angela Elton all the way from DC by way of Japan, etc., etc. So happy to have you. And hey there. Good to see you. Happy to have you. Where are you joining in from? We'd love to know where you're joining in from. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Another fabulous author and the co-host of the Magnetic Entrepreneur COVID-19 Success Summit is on with us, the remarkable author and speaker, Ruth Verbrae. Good to see you, Ruth. Good to see you. So happy to have you. And don't forget, if you've not been on The Brew, that's Ruth Verbrae's show, along with Robert Verbrae. You've got to check out The Brew for you. All right. So come on in, get in and tell a friend. And now, as I always say, make sure you have something nice and wet for your throat. So I'm going to take a sip before we begin. So many of you wonder, Lotus, what you got in your cup? I've got water in my cup. And oftentimes you see me drinking my water. Typically, I'm drinking my Naturally Plus, okay, from the Lotus Richey Ignites Wellness for You. It's Izumio. It's hydrogenized water. It has hydrogen in it, so it can hydrogenate my cells just the way I love it. Oh, my goodness. Look who else we have here, the remarkable Rosemarie Sanchez. She is a co-author of my upcoming book, Quebrando Barreras. Guess what? You want to get that book. I love you too, Rosemarie Sanchez. Now, listen, folks, if you haven't liked, shared, and started a watch party, you better go ahead and do it now before we get started. Now, this dynamic lady that's on my show, not only is she a phenomenal author with a book that's just dropping on Amazon, she is also a mother, she's a teacher, and she has started her own homeschool. And she's going to share a bit of that information with us today. So as we get ready to ignite and take flight, we are going to be so happy to hear the words from Miss Janelle Jones. If you don't know her, get your pen and your pad, because you're going to want to stay connected with her. So as we get ready to start, come on in. And if you haven't liked, shared, and told a friend, go ahead, tell a friend, start a watch party, but come on in. Get in where you fit in, right around my table. Here we go. Welcome to the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. We are here to inspire and empower you and ignite the fire of success within you so that you can ignite and take flight in every area of your life. Hello and good afternoon, and thank you so much for joining the broadcast here at the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. I've got a phenomenal guest with me. She's an author, she's a speaker, and she's also someone who can teach your children. If you're looking for somebody to help homeschool your child, none other than the amazing Janelle Jones. Hey, Janelle.
Hello. Hi. How are you?
I am wonderful. So, Janelle, folks are already streaming in from all over the world. We are so delighted to have you on the show. And I just want to thank you for being here. So if you would, can you tell us where you're at and tell us what the weather is like? I see the sun peering through your window from behind you.
I live in the beautiful city of Los Angeles, California. The weather is very nice, I might add.
Awesome. So Janelle, I'm thinking of Janelle, but Janelle is here because we're doing a special show in collaboration with Janelle Harris, the CEO of She Exists. So right here today, we've got Jay Jones. Okay, I love to call her Jay because she told me I could call her Jay. So I'm going to say what she told me I could say. So Jay Jones is here today. She's going to tell us a little bit about herself, and she's going to tell us about her book and also the homeschool that she's so famously known for. So Jay, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how you help the world?
Of course, absolutely. Okay, so I always tell my story. So for those that know me personally, you're going to hear it again. So I have been by trade a pharmacy technician for 18 years. I knew early on, once I had a son who's now 13, that I was going to have to homeschool him. I didn't want to step away from that independence as a single mother, but I said, I only get one child one time to be a good mom, right? So yes. I went ahead, as years went by, I researched about homeschooling. So at that point, when it was time, I just had to let it go and let God, right? I said, okay, it's time. So I went ahead and made the necessary adjustments to go ahead and homeschool my son. Once I did that, I stopped working completely and I made the sacrifices that were needed at the time. And I actually homeschooled my son for over a year now. And at that point, it shifted me into becoming an entrepreneur. I never thought I would because I was in the corporate world, right? I never wanted to be an entrepreneur. I never thought about it. So basically what happened was I needed extra income. And I had joined this jewelry business called Paparazzi Accessories. Shout out. So they had a challenge out there for me to go live on Facebook for 30 consistent days, 30 calendar days, you guys. Like, whoa, wait a minute. Can I really do this? Because I'm an introvert. I'm very shy and quiet and timid, all of that. And so I did that. I won the challenge. I finished that. And at that point, I started to do more networking with the ladies of paparazzi, as well as the homeschool communities that I had got myself involved in and connected with. So at that point, that's when I realized that's how you network. And other doors started to open. So I knew that there was a very strong need for African American community to know, and to know that single moms can homeschool too.
Yes.
Parents, African American, we homeschool too. I actually am shifting over to unschooling. That's a whole nother topic for another day and show. But that's pretty much where I am. And with me doing that, I have so many different businesses, and it pushed me and it freed me to become now an author. And that's why I'm here today.
Awesome. Awesome. So thanks for sharing that. So you've talked about the fact that you're an author. You've talked about the fact that you're a mom, that you homeschool, and so many other hats that you wear. But you kind of left one thing out. And you know, Lotus knows, because I always do my research. And you didn't share this with us, but I'm putting you out on Front Street because we know you're a life coach too. So tell us a little bit about how you got into coaching and why.
I honestly, okay, the why. I'm going to attack that first. The why is because for so many years, I had ran away from being a public speaker. I had prayed, and I knew that God, my higher power, wanted me to do something much more and greater, but I was afraid of myself. And a lot of times we allow fear to set in, right? And I let it set in for so long. But once I became an entrepreneur and stayed home, that's when I had more time on my hands. I had more time to spend with myself, get to know me a bit more, and also bond with my amazing son, right? And so that transitioned me into becoming a life coach as of newly. Just recently, I just said, you know what? It is what it is. This is my calling, and that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome. I love it. So now you guys heard her refer to her son, and many of you have children, of course, and they're your pride and joy. Well, guess what? I didn't get to meet Jalen, or Jaden actually is his name. Jaden. Jaden is her son. I didn't get to meet him, but I heard his voice because Jaden was helping us get set up for the interview. Okay. He's 13 years old. Awesome, handsome guy. I know because I saw his picture before. I looked him up. Awesome, amazing young man being homeschooled by this powerful, amazing coach, author, mentor, and just a person that creates new ways to help herself, help her son, help her community, and here today to help you ignite and take flight and take control of your life. So, wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. So we're going to ask some personal questions real quick. So tell us about Jaden, because I heard his voice. He seems so nice. He was helping us out. So tell us a little bit about Jaden.
Well, without going overboard, because I am his mom, but he is a true blessing from God. I'll say that. Why? Because he's actually, I wasn't going to disclose this, but he was the number one reason why I wrote this book. He pushed me, he approved it and said, you can do it, Mom. Let's do this story. And so I did. He's very ambitious. He's hands-on. He didn't work in the traditional setting because he's a very hands-on kid. He can carry a conversation with anyone. He's not shy. He's very outgoing, and he's very helpful.
Awesome. That's amazing. I love it. And as she said, Jaden helped inspire her for writing her book. And a lot of times we get caught up in our why. And oftentimes I say this to people all the time, Jay, you know, our why has to be stronger than our why not. Because I know for myself, so many times I said, well, you know, somebody came along, hey, Lotus, will you help me do this? And I'll be like, sure, why not? And I didn't think about my why, and my why had nothing to do with what they were trying to do. And I used the why not help this person instead of sticking to my why. But the most incredible thing that I heard you say is he was the inspiration for your book. And I heard you say that he's non-traditional. And that he's just a great kid, and I believe that. And I want to put this here on the screen. Let me get this up here, because many of you have children, and some of you that even don't have children, you have nieces and nephews and friends and godchildren that inspire you, that are your why, so that You'll never go back. If you were ever poor, you never want to go back there. And if you were always well off, you always want to stay that way and always open the funnels to help other people. But again, you got to know your why. So with that being said, I want to ask you, Jay,
Mhm.
why is it so important for entrepreneurs to know their why when it comes to business?
For me, the main reason to revisit your why is going to be to refuel you,
Mhm.
to keep going for those challenging days. You know, when you have, it's not always easy. Some people think it's a cakewalk. It's not. But if you truly want something, you're going to go after it, right? You're definitely going to go after it. And so the only thing I can say is write down that why, record it, put it on the wall, tell everybody you know, so they can remind you at those times where you're like, I'm not cut out for this. Yes, you are.
Mhm.
Yes, you are. Go back to that why, remember that, reflect on it, sit on it, digest it, and move forward.
So let me ask you this also, because I heard you say, yeah, you need to know your why, you need to digest it, sit on it. I heard you say all that, but one of the biggest things that I heard you say is write it down.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell people all the time to write it down. So this is my question. Why are we telling people to write it down? I know, and you know, but someone that are in earshot of us may not know. So why is it important to write down our why?
The reason why it is so important to write down your why is so you can see it, you can feel it. It's like you can taste it, and it's so freeing. It looks totally different on paper
Yeah.
versus when you're saying it. If you have it stuck in your mind,
Yes.
it's not clear. You know what I'm saying? It's not clear at all. And when you have it written down, it holds you accountable. You get to see, and you can resonate with it when you need to.
Oh, I love what you said about accountability, because it holds you accountable, because you've shared it with somebody. When you write it down, when you write your why down and make it plain, that's another reason why you want to write it down, because if you see it in front of you and it's not quite jiving with what you're doing already and where you want to go, you see it written down, you can kind of change some things about it. Why? Because it's a living document,
Right.
and you breathe air into it, and you set a certain um, frequency, if you will, so that you can draw it to you rather than repel it. But also accountability. Accountability is a key thing, so that you hold yourself accountable. And guess what? I can only imagine when Jaden, her son, was helping to inspire her book, I bet you he was holding her accountable. So there's a level of accountability that your children will even bring you to. And see, she's laughing because she already knows.
They definitely hold you accountable. They do.
Awesome
They're your
sauce.
number one supporter.
Right. Your number one fans. And oftentimes your spouses are, your mothers are,
Right.
sometimes your coworkers are. But that's why you want to know your why, because sometimes your why is also to show people, even that you work with, that your why is greater than punching a clock for someone else. So I want to shift over to that, because when you and I, we talked for a little bit, and I was like, so what made you get into doing whatever you were doing and blah, blah, blah. And you share with me that you had been working in the employment field, if you want, and you decided, look, it's time to make a change, and I'm
Mhm.
going to make a change. And you stepped out on faith. And I
Mhm.
love that, because you have to have faith over fear.
Mhm.
And your why was Jaden,
Mhm.
okay, that was like in the background saying, okay, mommy, you can do this. I'm holding you accountable. Okay. So that there was accountability. But I want to ask you, why is it so important for us in our why when we move out of these jobs? Why is it important for us to make it as an example to our coworkers?
Make it as an example.
Yeah, why is it important for us to make it as an example to our coworkers? Basically, to show our coworkers, hey, there is life after working for another company. If I could do it, you could do it.
Oh yeah, you definitely can do it. It's really freeing. Um, it's not just punching that time clock, sitting at
Mhm.
that desk, focusing on that one task, you're able to create your own schedule. You meet so many more people beyond that office space.
Yes.
Um, you're able to reach just certain heights, new levels. So I would definitely say it's much more freeing for sure.
Exactly.
You're not like robotic. I realized once I became an entrepreneur that I'm no longer robotic, and I actually get to live freely.
Wow. So I agree with that, because I tell you, when I was working for another company, I've worked in the capacity where I wasn't the supervisor, or I wasn't the manager, or what have you, all those titles that they assess to us, and to companies where I was the boss. I was the lady in charge, right? But what got me, Jay, was one day one of my employees came to me and said, Miss Lotus, I needed to know if I could have this time off for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about that thing. And I love to say yes, because I believe when you say yes, there's a frequency that you put out in the ether, and the positivity of yes comes back to you. So, and I think that's why the Bible tells us, let your nays be nays and your yays be yays, because it's important to identify with what you're thinking and what you're feeling and put out that energy. So I said to her, I think, yes, I think you can go. Let me look at the schedule and make sure we have coverage, and I don't have a problem with it. But I thought about it in the back of my mind, and I said, here this is a grown woman with a family, but she has to come to me and ask almost for permission to go on vacation. So if any of you out there have been in this position where you were the person asking to go on vacation, like almost like permission, put a number 2 in the comment bar below. Put a number 2 in the comment bar below. And then, and then we're going to flip the script on him, Jay. If you were the person who was the supervisor, or you called the shots, and you had to tell somebody yes or no that they could go on vacation, put a number 3 in the comment below. And then if you really want to be a part of this broadcast, put in there how you dealt with that, how you dealt with it, how it made you feel. So I've got a question for you. I know you've worked for some excellent companies. Were you a supervisor at any of these companies where people had to come to you and kind of ask, hey, can I go on vacation?
Yes and no. I was actually a lead pharmacy technician for a while, and because I have been there the longest, they ran it through me to see. And because of the type of person I am, I will go ahead and say, hey, we can rotate the holidays, or, certain time off. I'd never worked on the weekends and things like that. So I went ahead and said yes. I was a yes person.
You were a yes person. And a lot of times when we say yes to our people, hey, Oscar Delgado, good to see you. I think Oscar's coming in from Mexico. Good to see you. Hola, buenos días, ¿cómo está, Oscar, mi amigo? Muchas gracias. Oscar is amazing. He is also the co-author of my new book that we co-authored with Rosemary Sanchez and Alina Aksani. Wonderful, wonderful guy. Happy to see you here. Happy that you are here. Fantastic. So a lot of people like you and me, we want to say yes, but sometimes, Jay, let's be real, like we always are. Let's tell them the flip side of it. What about when you had to say no? How did you feel?
I felt a little guilty, a little bit, but then I said, you know what? I earned it. I earned it. I was at the bottom before, and it's no, not this time. My family came first, or, you just have to, sometimes you have to be selfish, unfortunately,
So how did you, for the entrepreneurs out there now, especially with what's going on, we're kind of coming out of this pandemic, close or shut in, if you will. We're going back to our jobs, many of us who work outside of the home. And many companies have lost a lot of people. So therefore, coverage may not be as optimal as it was before. So what would you say to the entrepreneurs that are now facing the strong challenges of saying, no, you got to come to work, because people are still fearful of the COVID?
I would honestly say for the people that have to go back to work, go ahead and go. However, don't give up on your dream. Make sure you hang on to your dream and do not release that at all.
Because a lot of people have been forced into changing the way they do business.
Oh, yeah.
But I love that you're encouraging people not to give up on their dream. Why are you saying don't give up on their dream? They don't have time to dream. They're at work and they're really scared because the COVID. They're not trying to get the COVID. So why are you telling them don't give up on their dream?
Because your dream allows you to be free and be free to be yourself, be the best version of yourself. You don't want to just give up on life. It's so much more when you're able to do what it is that you desire versus going to a job. Not saying that you don't desire your job, but how many people, be honest, how many people are truly happy at their jobs? You know, or are you just going for that paycheck? And if you think about it, a lot of people have said, oh, I've been at this job for so long, but they're truly not happy. They never reached that point of happiness. So at least you get to taste and sample a little bit of that happiness when you're an entrepreneur.
And it gives you the freedom that you want. So I love that you said don't give up on your dreams. So folks, definitely be encouraged. I mean, you've got a person before you. She's weathered the storm on both sides of the street, being an employee and also being a lead at a company where she had to say yay or nay when people wanted to take vacation. But what she did, she kept pursuing her dream, which led her to freedom, and she held herself accountable so that she could be and do and have anything that she wanted to take care of her why. And Jaden is her why, and you need to know your why. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, because that's super important. So I want to ask you this, because this is a question that's come through. Let's see, where is it? Okay. Okay. So the question is, who inspires you, and who is your mentors?
My mentors, I have a few, but I'll have to narrow it down to the current. The very first one I'm going to mention is going to be Tanya DeFreitas, and that's because she's the one that I collaborated with to do this book, Brutal Courage. I was actually supposed to write this book 2 books ago with her. I didn't have the courage at that time, and I said, you know what, now is the time. So I'll say shout out to Tanya DeFreitas, and she has a time to tell movement for healing and just to be free from traumatic experiences. That's my first mentor. Mm-hmm. My second one, my current one, is Justina Ford. She is a true gem. She's always available. She's very warm and welcoming. And I'm in business with both of those. Those are both of my business partners right now. So Justina Ford and Tanya DeFreitas.
All right. Fantastic. I love that, because I always tell people great mentors need great mentors. And Justina Ford, wonderful shout out to you for being a mentor and a guide for Jay Jones, because without you, like she said, who knows, and she's not only been mentored by you, but she's in business with you. And that's wonderful. And also special shout out to Tanya DeFreitas for helping Jay Jones step into her territory and move into her magnificence by writing the new book that's here, and it's available. You can get it on Kindle. You can get it on Amazon in a paperback. The 12 Women with 12 Journeys, Brutal Courage, spearheaded by Tanya DeFreitas. So thank you so much. And if you look down here, folks, there's a picture of Tanya DeFreitas, and you can also pick up some other things that she's written in her quest to help people free themselves and move into their brilliance. And I challenge you to check out Tanya DeFreitas and all of her wonderful books, but most importantly, Don't forget to check out her new book with our guest right here, Jay Jones, their new book, which is called, Jay, I'm going to let you tell the folks the name again of your book, how they can get it, and what inspired you to tell your story in this Brutal Courage book.
So you can access this book, Brutal Courage. It's launching this weekend on Amazon. So I will have the link for you there. You can message me on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. And what inspired me the most was that I was suppressing how I felt for quite some time. It was pretty much eating me alive, and it was time for me to go ahead and get that out and be brutally courageous.
All right, I love it. And I think I've already got the book link for you, Jay, but I know there's going to be another book link that you're going to have coming up. So wonderful. And another way, folks, that you can get this book, you can hit Jay up direct and you can check her out on her Facebook page. Don't hesitate to talk to her on Instagram, and definitely for the homeschooling. She's got a Facebook homeschooling page. Check her out there. But however you check her out, I don't care if you send a pigeon, send the message that you want to get this powerful new book, Brutal Courage, because it's going to help you have courage in the midst of whatever it is you're going through in your life. The book Brutal Courage with one of her mentors, Tanya DeFreitas, and about 10 other remarkable authors. And I'll open up my platform to the ladies in this book. I challenge you, come right here on this broadcast so we can talk a little bit more about this phenomenal book, Brutal Courage. So thank you for sharing that. That's so magnificent. I love that people can get at you on so many different ways, so many different platforms. And we talked about if they need extra money as well, you've got your jewelry business that you're involved in. You can teach people how to make extra money. A lot of people are stuck at home and they can't get out. So thank you so much for that. Also see you on Instagram. So tell us a little bit about your platform on Instagram.
So my platform on Instagram, it's literally just the homeschool, and I'm transitioning to the life coach component right now. I've decided to go ahead and have a mixture of both because that's just who I am. I have to stay true to myself, and I'm passionate about both. But the life coach is a priority for me right now. So on there, you're going to find tons of resources and everything like that related to homeschool at this point.
Awesome. I love it. And don't forget, she just dropped another dime that she held back at first. Yes, y'all, she is a life coach. So if you need some coaching, okay, if you need some coaching, a coach with the most to host, go and check out Jay Jones, and she'll help you out. So I really am so delighted that so many people have come in. They're joining us. We've got Angela Elton. She says that's awesome work. Aman Kona is here all the way from Africa, and it's always good to see you, Aman Kona. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Africa, and so many people in from Canada, Puerto Rico, Mexico, and just all over the place. New York City and Canada. Dr. PPP, good to see you. Happy that you're here with us all the way from DC as well. Angie, we see you, girl. We see you. So if you haven't gotten this book yet, or if you don't know about the good read that it is, don't wait on me. Go ahead and get the book. We already told you where to go. Go over to Amazon. And if you want to hit Jay up, just hit her up. And I'm going to put her information back up here so that you can see it. I think, Jay, we got a comment. Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. So as far as I can tell, Jay, so many people on here, the ones that I've seen, they're all entrepreneurs. Okay. They're all entrepreneurs, just like you. Many of them are coaches. So I know oftentimes we as coaches also have coaches. Mm-hmm. So let's talk about why it's important for coaches to have coaches.
Again, I'll just reinforce that accountability piece. And another reason is to share resources and to stay up to date, and just, sometimes you may reach a different level in coaching to where you want to transition if you've helped everyone already on, let's say, grief, and your audience or your clients are surpassed that. And then, say, for instance, a coach that I network with, she may specialize in something else. So it may be a better fit for someone as well.
I like that. I like that. So make sure, folks, you reach out to Jay Jones. She's the one that you want to talk to for her upcoming book, Brutal Courage. And also, don't slip with making sure you get your children involved in a homeschool program. So before we go, Jay, tell them a bit more about the homeschool program, how to reach you, and how to enroll in the homeschool program with you.
So basically, you'll just reach out to me on Facebook Messenger or Instagram as well. It's going to be free to be seen. And I will reach out to you and we can connect and start working with strategy for you. And whatever stage you're in, I can take something that you can also channel you to the right person. Because I'm in California. So my specialty is California. I know people all over, you know. So I'll definitely get you connected for the homeschool aspect.
Awesome. I love it. So, for your final words, please share with us any thought, any inspiration that you want to share with our viewers today.
Yes. The last words that I will say is just be authentically you. Do the best you can. Strive for excellence. Stay true to you and be free to be you.
Awesome. And so, folks, we are hosting the Magnetic Entrepreneur COVID-19 Business Success Summit this weekend, June 6th and 7th. I'll see you tomorrow for a morning broadcast telling you more tidbits about that. And guess what? I have my international team. We'll be hosting this summit in a myriad of languages. So don't forget to get your ticket. If you've not gotten your ticket, make sure you get your ticket because we'll be hosting this thing in a myriad of languages. And I'll share more of that with you on tomorrow's broadcast. But for now, I want to say thank you so much to Jay Jones. She's amazing. And Johnny said that you have a great message. Thank you, Johnny, for joining us. And where are you joining us from? We've got people here from Africa, Canada, and all over the place. And Johnny, we want to know where you're joining from. So as soon as Johnny puts where she's joining from, guess what? We're going to be saying au revoir. And Johnny, there we go. Johnny may not have heard us. But anyway, no worries. We've amazingly enjoyed you folks. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for your time. But most of all, no matter what you do, remember that we are happy and we're thankful for you. And go out and get her new book. You won't be disappointed. We love you. And remember to ignite and take flight. See ya. Welcome to the Lotus Richey Ignite Show. We are here to inspire and empower you and ignite the fire of success within you so that you can ignite and take flight in every area of your life.